fuente de trabajos. Aquí vamos a ver una fuente de trabajos. Con CBP que va a estar aquí, con el dinero que pusimos para la infraestructura, que esto va a ayudar mucho para los proyectos que tenemos. Esto va a ser una fuente de trabajos. Este edificio es increíble. Ahora lo visité ahora en la mañana y esto va a ser una fuente de trabajo. Ya vendieron 2 lots, viene el tercero. Esto va a ser algo que va a crecer. El comercio entre los Estados Unidos está creciendo 5% cada año y por eso vamos a ver mucho negocio en esta área. Si miramos los números de camiones que están pasando aquí, el año pasado eran como 30,000 y algo. Este año va a ser más de 50,000 camiones que vamos a ver nomás por Roma.
¿Esto viene a agilizar el flujo de comercio internacional y también reducir los tiempos de espera?
Eso es importante. Cuando tenemos suficiente agentes de aduanas, cuando tenemos la tecnología, cuando tenemos la estructura como hizo el sector privado aquí con la ciudad de Roma, esto va a bajar el tiempo para las inspecciones, porque especialmente cuando hablamos de produce, que es algo que es muy importante, los vegetales, esto va a bajar el tiempo y eso va a crear una eficiencia que es importante para el comercio, especialmente con el socio número 1 que tenemos en la nación, que es México.
Me gustaría preguntarle acerca de lo que usted dijo el día de hoy, acerca de los Dreamers y de los no ciudadanos que ahorita van a tener el apoyo del gobierno.
Sí, eso es importante. En mi distrito nomás tenemos más de 6,000 personas, esposos, esposas que no tienen los papeles pero están casados con un ciudadano americano o que tienen hijos. Esto va a ayudar a muchas personas. Es que son 2 órdenes que hizo el presidente hoy. Número 1, para ayudar a los esposos, las esposas, los niños de ciudadanos americanos que tienen el mínimo de 10 años. Estamos viendo que el average es como 23 años, ya tienen 23 años que ya tienen aquí. Eso es algo muy importante por nosotros. Yo conozco a muchas personas que están en esa situación, número 1. Y número 2, va a mover los ritmos más rápido, los ritmos que acaban del colegio, los dreamers que ya tienen trabajo, y ese es el tipo de persona que queremos con la educación, que ya tienen trabajo, y esto va a ayudar a la economía a crecer rápidamente. Pero especialmente a los esposos, a las esposas de ciudadanos americanos y los hijos que vienen aquí. De eso tenemos mucho en mi área.
Congressman, when it comes to border trade in South Texas, what are some of the resources that you think are still lacking? What are the things that we can still work towards?
Well, look, one of the things I keep telling my colleagues, look, men and women in green is important. I support that, Border Patrol. But we gotta add more men and women in blue. So we've been adding more resources to hire more personnel. Not enough, but more. Now, one thing I was talking about is that some years ago I created the border processing coordinators, where we will take Border Patrol or men and women from the bridges to work with the wave of immigrants we have. Unfortunately, they were telling me they still have one more wave that they have to deal with, so they're going to take some of the men and women in blue to work on the immigration centers. I'm trying to stop that, so we need to add more personnel. New technology, the non-intrusive technology, we've added millions of dollars and billions of dollars over the years for non-intrusive technology. So it's the personnel, the technology, and the coordination, and having the Mexicans over here is something that we started in Laredo under the Enrique Peña Nieto era to have them do the joint inspection. And they're doing joint inspection here. That creates efficiency. Which is important for trade.
So turning to the water issue just very quickly, obviously we hope that there's going to be rain today and for the next few days. But in terms of federally, what are you sort of looking? What are we working on in terms of getting Mexico to, adhere to the treaty, and what else are we keeping?
Yeah, there's a couple things, and I had a 1-hour meeting with the International Bond and Water Commission. So we're hoping that we'll have some news by the end of the month. But I'll tell you what I've done on appropriations. One, I put language there to take money away from Mexico, except when it comes to fighting fentanyl or drugs, to get their attention, number one. Number two, I put resources there that we got to look at conservation, both on the Mexican side and on the U.S. side. We start thinking about water when Mexico gets behind, but we've seen this every year. As you know, they're on since 1944, they've been on a 5-year cycle, and if they don't pay, and right now they paid like 400,000 when they should be over 1 million, so they're way behind. And if they don't do it, they'll pass it on to the next 5-year cycle. So they're going to get behind. Usually Mexico pays back when the water comes in, but we got to have a more consistent basis on that. I did spend about an hour with Dr. Jenner yesterday, talking about different issues, talking about dredging, talking about eradication of cane, carrizo cane, which sucks up so much water from this. But we talked about the minute order. As you know, Mexico had to get the presidential election out of the way. After the presidential election, things started moving faster. So what we want to do is to make sure that minute order is signed. We're hoping by the end of the month, we should have some good news, and that is what we're hoping right now. We had a very fruitful talk with the International Boundary Water Commissioner, Dr. Jenner, yesterday, and she's working on it, but as you know, we got to work with the Mexican side.
Congressman, any more news either from the White House or from Congress about stopping the guns and weapons going south?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I put resources, because usually we want to look at things coming in, drugs, but as you know, for the Mexicans, it's very, very important that we stop the weapons going south. As you know, the majority of the weapons that the cartels use are American weapons. And Texas is one of the biggest exporter of those. So what we've done is we put in more resources to do more, not as much as coming north, but we're trying to put more resources going south. Partnerships with local communities where they can share. If they get some cash, it's going to be very important to provide that incentives. Manfield, if I can mention something also, we're in the Army Corps work plan. There's monies there to make sure that we get the job done. One of the things that we've added in appropriations are millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for dredging. Whether it's the Brownsville area, the Mansfield, the Corpus Christi have gotten so much money in other places because we want to dredge that. After we changed the law where we stopped the ban of oil exports, LNGs for the Brownsville area and other areas have just grown. Texas is now the #1 exporter of LNG in the whole country, and that's why the dredging, we put in millions of dollars to dredge so we can handle the bigger boats that come in to pick up the LNG.
Congresista, buscaría